Hey there, Jamie with Brazelton Realty here. Are you wondering where all the listings went? Well, if you are, you're not alone. All of us are wondering the same thing, and I'm going to give us 4 reasons why I think we are really short on listings here in 2021. So keep watching. Hey there, are you new to this channel? If so, welcome. We're glad you're here. We discuss all things Northern Colorado real estate related. And today we are talking about why are there so few listings on the market? What happened to all the listings? Where did they go? That is what we're going to be talking about here today. And we're going to start off with this. In 2020, we saw some historic low interest rates. Now the Feds did that to try to keep the economy going, and it did a pretty good job in 2020. We're seeing some of the side effects, I think, in 2021, and that leads me to my first reason why I think we have a shortage is because it was so low interest last year. Anybody that wanted to sell or buy did so last year, or especially sell. They sold last year. That's my number 1 reason. Number 2 reason is because it was such a low interest rate last year. If that individual was thinking about refinancing, they refinanced last year as well. And so these 2 things are keeping them from doing anything this year because they just refinanced or they just sold and bought a new place, and they're not real excited in 2021 to buy, sell again. They already did that last year. So that's 1 or 2 reasons why I think we're in the predicament that we are in 2021. Now, my 3rd reason why I think we have low inventory here in Northern Colorado is because I think people are really worried. It wasn't that long ago where we saw the bubble burst in 2008, and I think there's a lot of people who are worried that this is a sign that we're going to see that bubble burst again. So they're just hanging tight and trying to see what the market's going to do. Now, as an aside to that, I don't see the same factors as we saw in 06 and 07 that led to the 08 housing market crash here. The lenders are doing a really good job right now. Appraisers are very studious and keeping to their regulations. And us realtors, we're trying to do the same here in Northern Colorado. So I don't foresee the bubble bursting. I don't foresee a market crash down the road. Now, I could be wrong. And of course, I'm one person, and this is just my opinion. And so there are a lot of people who are worried about that because it wasn't so long ago and they felt the sting back then and they don't want to experience that again. So they're holding tight. The 4th reason why I think we don't have much inventory is because in order for most people to sell their house, they're going to have to go buy a house. And they don't want to enter this market as a buyer. They are afraid. They hear all the stories, they hear people saying how hard it is for buyers, and they just want to stay away. Now, I completely understand. I totally resonate with the idea that you don't want to be a buyer in this market. However, I do think it does open up some opportunities for people if they're willing to go through a little bit of frustration and a little bit more angst than they would in normal years. You could probably sell your house for significantly more. And if you're diligent and patient, you could probably find a house without having to pay over asking, or at least very much over asking. So there are still good deals out there. I hear this as an excuse and I understand it, but sometimes it just needs a little bit of education. However, that being said, that is one of the reasons why we're not seeing very many houses on the market right now. And unfortunately, because of that fear, it's just driving prices higher and making it more of a seller's market because they don't want to put their house on the market. Now, with all the contributing factors of why there's not very many houses on the market, there are still people selling. People are moving, whether they have to move or they want to move. There's a lot of factors in the world today, and there's a lot of movement one way or another. So there are still buyers and there are still sellers. And if you're a buyer, it is not an easy task for you right now. It is more frustrating than it was, just a year ago. But there is hope, and I'm going to do something for you. I'm going to help you guys out. I'm going to put a video up here that's going to give you some tips and tricks on getting your offer accepted the first time. because when you're putting in offer after offer and offer, it's so discouraging. So use these tactics to your advantage.